The formidable robots.
When I was just a teenager, I used to play a lot of GoldSrc games and mobs, often Half-Life and Team Fortress Classic. Other than Half-Life Deathmatch, TFC was the multiplayer game I usually played in my sessions, and that game helped me make a lot of friends. Like everyone back then, I have nostalgia for the GoldSrc days before the lead up to Half-Life 2. I wish I could go back, but something happened in 2002 that now prevents me from returning. After a long day at school, I got home and booted up TFC for a casual capture the flag game, however I couldn't find any servers for any game mode. Not even deathmatch. I clicked refresh, and a CTF server called Lost appeared. Dismissing the cringy and edgy name, I joined the game with Blue as my team and Scout as my class. The server's map was 2 Fort, and it was relatively normal, with sound bites of various early internet memes playing intermittently in the background. Most of them were ripped from The Simpsons, with the line, "I am the Lizard Queen," being the most frequent of all of them, along with the server promotion. Seems like a normal TFC server. It was chaos like in every TFC game, and while I was anxious to get in on the action, after an hour into gameplay, I noticed the eerie silence from the players. Nobody sent messages into the chat or even trash-talked the other players via their mic. Thinking nothing of it, I sent a message into the chat. I can't remember what I sent, but I know I was taunting the red team to do better. That's when everything, and I mean everything, stopped. The gunfire, the explosions, even the usual game sound effects ceased, and everyone, including my team, stared at me everywhere I went. They just stared like that moment where everyone stares at you in awkward silence when you make a scene. If it weren't for Lisa Simpson or Apu breaking the silence every 5 minutes, it would have been uncanny. Then gameplay resumed like nothing ever happened. Eventually Red won the game, and I kind of felt bad for taunting Red earlier. The map changed to Rock 2, and the game went on as normal until one player started sending melancholic messages in the chat, and I sent back a provocative smart-ass message. Then this player replied, "You shouldn't have said that," and literally everyone started sending that same message to me repeatedly. Assuming it was all just a troll, I ignored it and went back to trying to capture Red's flag, but since everyone was harassing me with that one message, I turned on my mic and said aloud, "Could you shut the fuck up?" Suddenly the game changed maps, and I was on this strange looking locale I had never seen in TFC before. It looked like Rock 2, Dust Bowl, and well had a baby. I was a little bit taken aback. Never does TFC change maps like that, especially if you got mad and said something stupid in the server. I found out I was the only player on the map. It was like everybody had left except for me. I and that Lisa Simpson soundbite that is. I went to capture Red Team's flag, but when I reached their area, instead of the Lizard Queen soundbite, grainy audio from what I could only assume to be an audio tape of a baby crying. I continued my way to the Red Team's flag when a man, presumably the dad, walked in and started screaming obscenities at the crying infant at such a loud volume that it nearly made my ears bleed. It was nerve-wracking to listen to, and when I finally reached their flag room, I heard the man pick up the baby, and I won't tell you what happened next, but I think you can get the picture. I was obviously distressed, and I tried to exit the game. I hit escape, nothing. I tried Alt F4, Control Alt Delete, nothing. My computer wasn't frozen. I could still move around, but there was no UI anymore, no HUD. It was just me, the environment, and that horrible echoing recording that looped behind me like a memory you can't shake. The map had changed while I wasn't looking. The lights flickered like those low-res strobe effects you saw in haunted house mobs. The textures began glitching, like someone had lazily smeared blood-red pixels over the default concrete and metal walls. I turned around and saw that the hallways were warped, repeating like some kind of Escher painting rendered in 1999 polygons. Then I saw them. Red Team. Not just one or two, all of them. Every class. All standing at the end of the corridor, shoulder to shoulder. Medics, pyros, and heavy weapons are just staring. Their models jittered slightly, like they were trying to move but couldn't. Their heads twitched, slightly misaligned with their bodies, like the model rigging had gone wrong. Their eyes weren't textured, just black sockets. One by one, they began to walk toward me, not running, not firing at me, just walking. I tried shooting at them, but nothing happened. Then someone typed into the chat, "You shouldn't be here." That was the last message before my screen showed something horrible. It was an image of a toddler's face disfigured by constant physical abuse, accompanied by an ear-piercing loud screech. I'm obviously not going to continue, but it made me uncontrollably angry. Turning on the mic again, I said, "Do you think this is fucking funny? I'm going to report your asses." A message popped up in the chat. "We are the lost ones." I swiftly replied, "Fuck you." Then my computer started showing me images and videos of the worst humanity has to offer. Stuff from the Chechen War, including the infamous Czech Clear, and other things which I won't mention, with "What a Wonderful World" sung by Louis Armstrong playing in the background. I was sickened to my stomach. I again tried everything I could to exit the game, but to no avail. Then blackness with complete silence. I thought my computer had crashed. I could still hear the game audio though, but it was just wind now, like a looping wave file of static air until I could hear ringing in my ears, which got more intense until I blacked out. When I woke up, my face was lying on my keyboard. I discovered the game had closed on its own. Not crashed, closed. Back to desktop. Except my desktop wallpaper was gone, replaced with a 640 by 480 screenshot of that distorted map. The blood-smeared textures, the red team lineup captured from behind me, as if someone had been watching my character from a third-person angle. The tfc.exe icon was gone too. Not uninstalled, just deleted. When I tried reinstalling from the disk, the install would freeze at 66%. Every single time. The next day, I went to Game FAQs and posted about the lost server. Nobody knew what I was talking about, and others said they'd never heard of a server just called Lost posted on any public listing. I even mentioned it to my friends, and they joked that it was probably a bootleg mod. A few months later, someone messaged me on ICQ with a single file called lost.bim. I clicked on it out of curiosity, expecting a demo recording. What I got was a 3-second playback of a distorted scout standing in the intel room, looking up at the camera. The moment it ended, my speakers burst with that same loud scream. It made me rip my headphones off. After that, I stopped playing Team Fortress Classic. I even stopped playing GoldSrc mods altogether. I moved on, like everyone else did, to Source and eventually other engines. But to this day, sometimes when I boot up an old game, I'll hear something strange in the distance. The baby, the wind, and once, just once, I heard a voice whisper through broken codec compression. "You lost too." I don't play alone anymore.